Hello again, everybody. It's Harry Box with the Technical Trader at techtrader.com. It's Saturday morning, November the 2nd. This is the weekend webinar. And as I say every week, another eventful week with the NDX making new highs. The S&P did not. But let's look at the S&P to start. In the last year, we've gone from 3,600 to 58 and change, 2,200 points. The high was 58.78, and we backed off the last couple of days. That's a weekly. Here's your daily. You can see how we came right down to the 50-day, near lateral support and near trendline support. We break here immediately, early next week, could plunge the market into a very steep decline. We'll see. They may want to wait till after the election. Market could mark time for a couple of days, then react. My support right now, 55, 25, 30. Right there. 54, 15, 20. And that is down there. And if that thing gives away, look out below. 52.65 and 51.20 is a possibility. We'll see. In any case, first we have to hold, and let's see if that happens. Even if we do break down, we can snap right back like it did there. The trend line is right there, though, so this is important. It looks like from this point, a 1, 2, 3. This is 4. So if there's going to be another wave up, we could see 6,000 to 6,100. I know my friend Avi is looking for 6,000 to 6,200 if support does not give way. Right now, 56.74 is my number, and underneath that, market's going to get ugly. So that's the S&P. Here's the Nasdaq 100. Slightly high above this high, but not a new all-time high, which was reached here at 20,690. I got up earlier in the week to 20,600, so 90 points away. Essentially, a 4-month apart double top. Or is it? Well, obviously, that's resistance now, and it moved back up through that. Would be blow-off time. But for now, you can see that there's key support on NASDAQ 100 at 19,880. Beneath that, this is the key for me, 19,620. And then the trend line comes in a little below that. But a break of that leads to a much, much deeper decline. It wouldn't shock me if we got that break, then NASDAQ comes down to 18.5, something like that. So we're talking 1,500 points if key support cracks. I'm not saying it's going to happen, because if it doesn't and it turns around for some reason, we can still get up to 20,900 or more. Okay, that's those two. What about the transportation and IWM, the small caps? Well, here's the transportation index. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves up and a pullback and now bouncing again. So where's the support? I'm going to have to say underneath 16,000. We could quickly get to 15,675 or worse, down to 15,3. As you can see from the angle of ascent, any move upward could get us to 17,000. So that's what we have right now. And note that the Dow Jones Transportation Index has got massive resistance up here. Should it get through that, it could even blow off to 18,500. Anything could happen? Not likely. IWM, small cap index that we follow. Nearly a triple top up here, 1, 2, and 3. Key support in the last 6 weeks, right around 215. We're at 218.98. Anything below 215 could lead quickly to about 209, 210, and even down towards 198, 200. Again, I'm not calling for that. I'm giving you where the support is. I moved through the double top, gets you to 234 and 244. What about the underlying indicators? You can see the McClellan oscillator has been in a downtrend literally since July, with declining tops since then. Pretty big support down around minus 150 and then minus 210.20. We got down as low as on Friday at minus 102, minus 106, closed minus 102. So we're down in that zone near support. Are we going to crack and spike down in the 200 range? We're going to find out. Let's look at the major components of most of the indices, like Apple, for example. Nasty break the last 3 days. More than that, Apple went through its 50, went through its intermediate rising channel, broke out of a wedge to the downside, is now set up for lower levels. Key support, 214. Below that, we're looking at 198, something like that. Gotta be real careful. Apple could lead lower. Stay tuned. Amazon, on the other hand, check this out. Spiked to reach an all-time high. It reached 201.20 back in July. Friday, 200.5. So we're within 70 cents. It did back off to 197, but it's holding up pretty well. And should Amazon get through here, Engel says we're going to 216.18. Google had an inverse head and shoulders and broke out with a spike, got up to resistance and backed off. Right now, retesting the breakout point and having filled that gap. So this is key for Google as well. Either we bounce here and go, or this thing could come right back down to 163. Microsoft, that was not a good day Thursday on earnings. I've been talking about a massive head and shoulder top with a shoulder complex, the head and a right shoulder complex there. I think the key is going to be, can this hold two places? First of all, 400. Second of all, 385. Two key levels for Microsoft. If it breaks that, it's going to fall apart. NVDA, well, pushing up against the all-time highs, actually made a new all-time high a week and a half ago at 144.42. Came down to 132, losing 12 points in the last 7 or 8 days. And then Friday was an actual solid 5% up day on 218 million, 225 million shares in that stock. Amazing volume every day. You can also keep an eye on the NVDL and the NDX, the key for the long and short ETFs for that. 123 3/4 is support number 1, and 128 3/4 and 125.5. Those are two numbers to keep an eye on. Obviously, you break through here and you're looking at up to upwards of 155, 58 maybe. Tesla broke out, nominal high, came right down all week, every day. Totally falling wedge or something more? Well, we're going to find out. Key support is the gap at 242.65. Right now, that's 7 points from where we are. So watch that next week. Netflix, beautiful chart. It's the best of all of them. Breaks the new all-time highs and forms a beautiful bull coil. If it does pop and the market goes, I'm looking for 790. Key short-term support, 736. And the 50-day moving average is 712. Those are numbers to keep in mind. And finally, Meta. Looks to me right on the trend line, right on price support. That too, along with Microsoft, had a really nice day Thursday. And note the key triple top resistance right there at a new all-time high, over 600, 601 there, 600.10 there, 602.95 is the high. So support, resistance, target, secondary support is 541. A break of that, we're in trouble. So that's a quick look at the NASDAQ 100 generals we follow closely. Let's look at the major ETFs we follow. Semiconductors, SMH. You can see where resistance is. It's clear at 265. Beyond that would be 283. Any break below 237 or so could lead to a much deeper retrace or decline. I don't want this massive 2-year trend line to be broken. And I'm concerned about this being a massive one left shoulder head and right shoulder complex. It doesn't mean it is. It just means something's set up there. We'll see what the semiconductors want to do. Financials. Weakened last week, late in the week. And I think the key level is 134.5. That's price and moving average resistance, support, and a break of that, then we go down and down hard. On support here, if they're going to rally from here, your target's 156. And biotechs, using the LABU. Nice pop on Friday of 6.6%. The stronger group of the three, but at the apex of a wedge. We'll have to see. Resistance 135, support 115. So let's get to some other ETFs. Oil, very sloppy in here. I wouldn't want to make a guess as to which way this is going to go. I was of the opinion this was a break, a snapback, and we were going lower. Instead, it snapped right back to secondary resistance and failed. So it's pretty sloppy pattern in here, and I would avoid. I'm trying to guess that anyway. Boy, new all-time low in natural gas for the boil. Anyway, look at this. 724, then another 3% on Friday, but an all-time low, split adjusted, of course. I'll probably split this again. Amazing. It was just 12. And the KOLD, as a result, at a quadruple top or triple top, yeah, you can get through here. You might see that spike into $100 range or better. Looking at gold and silver, pretty nasty pullbacks the last week and a half for gold. Of course, it did hit the channel top and near lateral resistance. That's the GDX. GLD made a new all-time high midweek and then got pounded back. You don't want this below, ideally, if this is going to continue to trend. And you can see the accelerated angle. So this is a stop under 250, 249. That's pretty close to where it is. Because I think on the 249, we start to test lower levels, 243, and then 240. Below that is a complete major trend change, I think. But we'll see. The way this is accelerated, and especially if the market comes down, I suspect this could be 275 or more. And silver, well, got a pretty good hit Thursday, Friday, and even Wednesday, coming down from 49 the AGQ did to 42 3/4. It's at the trend line and lateral price support. This is where it needs to hold. Otherwise, we're going to see lower levels, perhaps even a retest of the 38.9 zone. Let's go to charts of stocks. We have a lot to talk about. I must have taken 50 off my list. There were so many. We'll start off with, as we customarily do, with AAOI. Remains in a 2.5 week quarterly flag pullback. And this does look like a 1, 2, 3, 4. But key support is 14 at 65.75. And the short-term resistance is around 17. We get through that, this could go back to 20 or even 23.4. ADMA has been in a beautiful rising channel for 2 years, at least a year now, from $3 to 20. You got a pretty good hit a couple weeks ago. It stabilized at the gap and went right back up again. Key resistance is right up here. We're going to have to see what this does. AEM, this is a major gold, Agnico Eagle. And if this trend continues, I'm looking for high 90s, near 98. AGI, another junior gold. Trend says if it continues, 24. AGX in the construction group is flying, folks. Here's the major breakout. As a result of that, a new sharply rising angle occurred. I'm looking for this to extend to 165. ALHC, great rising pattern. Large 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then that, but a breakout. Target now 14 and 16. AMLX, beautiful rounding bottom, classic. Breakout flag, breakout rising flag. This is the tech trader swing. I'm looking for more. 9 and 12. APLT, breakaway gap a month and a half ago. Rising flag, just broke through on Friday slightly. If this accelerates, you might see 12 or 14. Apps had that big spike in August. We traded that. It's pulled down and consolidated for weeks now. Tried to break out earlier in the week and then backed off with the market. If it gets above 370, I'd be looking for 4.5, 3/4, and then 6. Aquestive Therapeutics, really neat looking chart. Coming back out of a downtrend, forming a wedge, a flag, and a coil, or another flag, a mini flag, targeting 6.25, 7, and 8. ASPI, with an explosive move in the last 3 weeks, has seen it go from about 2.75 to 9. How about that for a move? And then Friday, with an engulfing reversal day, tells me it may not be done. Especially keep an eye on this one. If it gets above 9.25, maybe 11.5 and 13. ATEK also with a big breakaway gap Thursday and an inside day Friday. Watch this one. It's at the gap. It's near the declining tops line. But your next target's 8.75, 9, and then we'll see where it goes. Now, Atomera popped, forming a beautiful coil, which we mentioned. When it broke out, we put a swing on it. It's worked out. 3.5 to 4.67 in the last week. I'm looking for more. I tested the gap at 5.15 and then 6. BEKE, Chinese real estate firm that just went crazy when Chinese stocks did. Had a nice 1, 2, 3 wave corrective. Formed an island reversal to the upside. A little flag and a pop and another flag. Just looks like a stock that Chinese market holds itself together at all. This is going to be a $26 to $7 stock at least. Bristol Myers, breakaway, spiked, coiled, and popped. Formed another little coil and broke out. Inside day Friday. But overall, this looks like a breakout. I think Bristol Myers goes to 59 and 65. Bioventus has been an uptrend since it bottomed mid-2023. And 2 years later, it's gone from under $1 to 14 or near it. My target now is, this is an accelerated angle, 17. PYRN was a tech trader swing from there to there. It worked out, but it came down. Now it's wedging. I don't want this under 13. If it pops that wedge, we'll retest 1920. CAPR, very, very powerful chart, but it did have a tough week. Orderly retrace, but still, it pulled back from almost breaking out, getting up to 2290. It finished in 1951. So losing 3.5 points in the last 3 days, not a picnic. I wouldn't want it underneath short term under 18. If it does break out over 2340, targets 29 and 35. CCJ and uranium, fantastic long-term chart. Triggered by a V bottom and a right-handed extended platform, and up she goes. A move from 8.5 to 60, almost 59. So this little pullback is it filled that gap and is at support. Let's see what this does. CDXC with a special day on Friday exploded. 38.5 million shares traded. Went through 2 layers of resistance, closing up, as I said, 64%. And it looks like a breakaway move if I've ever seen one. I'm now looking for 10 and 11. CDXC, CLBT, beautiful rising channel, has been in one for 2 years, taking it from under 4 to over 18.5. Still looks good to me. Rising angle says that it's not done yet, headed for 20. CLOV broke out, started running, spiked, coiled, and popped. It's consolidating. Should it hold this angle? 6 and 8 are targets. CLPT breaks out of a base here with a spike up. Runs hard, falling wedge, breakout of flag or wedge, whatever you want to call it. I'm looking for 15 and 17. CLS breaks through with a key double top with a big breakaway gap and forms a flag, popped on Friday. Don't know how far they can take this. Looks like momentum, and this one's calling for a move to the mid-80s and maybe 100. CMPO, fantastic base, huge spike breakout, and a beautiful rising channel. But if it isn't done yet, we may see 18. Cogent Bio, double bottom breakout, retest, double bottom here, and then a run up in a rising channel for about 6 months now. Extension target will be a retest of these tops up here and there, 13.5, and then 15. COMM breaks an inverse head and shoulders, a flat one. Pop, pull back, extension, flag, pop, and another flag. It's just moving out here. It looks like it wants to. I'll target 9 and 12. CORT coming to a double top and then pausing after backing off, retesting the moving averages and trend lines. Then an explosive move from 33 to 50 and a nice little pullback Thursday reversed. Don't know how far they take it, but momentum says 53. Credo, beautiful rising channel. Held support and spiked on Friday. If it goes, mid-channel at 45 is your next target. Corvus, junior buy with a beautiful base, breakaway move, rising channel, along 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, may not be done yet. Extension target, 10 and 12. Delta Airlines, I'm just going to show you two airlines. Pretty amazing. Look at Delta and UAL. Amazing moves, all because of oil being down. Profitability up. UAL, 37 to 80 in 90 days. Delta, 38 to 59 in the same period. Dell, I like this stock long term. Short term, it had a V-bottom platform and worked its way higher. On Friday, up 7.56 or 6%. Should it get above the recent high at 134? I would look for 145.50 zone. Dole, the food company, popped out, consolidated, ran up. It did a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-way move and then a longer coil consolidation. But Friday, it popped 60 cents or 4%. It broke out. I'm now looking at if it takes out the 17 range for 18.25 and 20. EAT, well, Burger's had a really big move of late, but the last year has gone from 28 to 105, quadrupling. Doesn't look done yet. Perhaps 116 to 125. EGO Junior Gold with a big pullback on Friday, right at the trend line. Wanted to show you the long term though. The trend line is a short-term trend line. The longer one, if gold comes down further, this would be a buy near 14. Targets 19 and 24. ELDN broke out of a base. The last couple of weeks has been fabulous. It went from 238 to 554. There's some resistance at 6.25. This may need to consolidate near the top of the channel as well. EOSC, rising channel currently coiling, targeting 4.5 and 6. ERJ, Tech Trader Swing, had a rough morning, but held support on Friday and reversed, finishing with a gain on the day. And I'd be looking out for this to make a test of 35.5 and then 37. You get through that, it targets 41. EVGO, long downtrend, breakout, 3-month platform, breakaway gap, rising channel. That support right here. If it holds, targeting 10, 11. EWTX, beautiful base, breakaway gap, beautiful wedge, and then the run. And now flag, target 41. EXEL, breakout flag, explode and run. This is, I believe, all-time high. Nope. It's the highest level in 20 years, though, 25 years. So we'll consider that an all-time high. May have some room to run. We'll see how far, mid-30s. High 30s. Flex, FLEX, broke out. We put a swing on it. It pulled back and then popped. Looks like it could stair-step its way into the high 30s to low 40s. In the aerospace area, look at this chart. FTAI, in 2 years, has gone from 15 to 143 and doesn't look done. Although I would stop it on Thursday's low, 127. Target, 160. Gato, Mexican silver. Nice rising channel, targeting 24 and 29. GDS, beautiful technical chart and some sort of flag in here, targeting 28 and 30. Gilead, well, this is a major drug biotech firm. Breakout flag, pop, rising wedging. It looks like it's going to extend even further. This is a breakout to some key areas here, where it's right at the high from 22. Any move through here, and you can see the huge base that's been built on it. That could lead to 100 or more. Gorilla Technology, GRRR, Tech Trader Swing, broke out, got up to target number 1 at the gap and pulled back. If it doesn't hold here, it might quickly retest 365. But any hold here, I'm looking for 550 and 6 3/4. GVA in the construction industry, what a nice pop that had last week in the midst of a lousy market. And long-term, fabulous chart. I've seen it go from single digits to the mid-80s. HMY in the gold and silver group, targeting 14 and 17. Fabulous long-term chart. Harrow popped. We put a swing on it back when it was 15. Well, it nearly quadrupled, made it up to 59 and change, and backed off in the last week to test support here. Needs to hold it. HWM, another great aerospace, junior aerospace stock with a fabulous chart. Extension target 125. INOD Tech Trader Swing broke out and kept running, and now it's challenging the July-August highs. Should we get through that? We might see an extension into the high 20s. In Seago, great chart, flattened out here. It needed to hold 15 and a quarter, and then take out the 20 and a half area. If it does that, high 20s. IONQ has been fantastic. For the last 60 days, it's gone from 6.5 to 18, nearly tripling. But the pullback late in the week has broken the channel. It might have been a little bit too steep anyway. So let's step back and do this. I now believe this is your new channel. If it holds there, the next target is 20. Jets is the ETF for the airline group that you may want to consider that one, pretty strong. KNF, which is Knife River, building materials, beautiful base, breakout flag, and pop. This one has legs, I think goes to 125. KOLD we mentioned earlier, LAC, rounding bottom, broke out. It's a Tech Trader Swing. It got to the target and then backed off. Should it get through that high? About 5 1/4, 6.5, and 8 are your targets. LC Lending Club, long base breakout, and then a multi-week wedge formed. It popped out of that and pulled back the test and popped again. Another wedge. Looking for a move to 16.5, 17. LITE Tech Trader Swing did great when we gave it to you back in August at around 51. Made it up to 71, 20 points. It's pulled back. Need to put a stop in this one. I would say under 60, 61. Laird Superfood, absolutely stellar chart. Pop falling wedge, pop pennant, pop coil, flag. I mean, it's symmetrical. It keeps doing that. Right now, my target is 14. LUMN with a monster move and a multi-week, multi-month consolidation. Just waiting for it to pop. And if it gets above 8 1/4, look out. 10, 12, 14. Lunr breaks out of the declining pattern of wedges, pops again, and now is coiling. 1, 2, 3, 4. I got a fifth wave target of 13. Mankind breaks out of a long base and is now at multi-year highs. I don't know how far they take this one. I have an $8 target. MP, Tech Trader Swing, broke out. We put a swing on it. It kept going. Now it's in a rising flag. Really like the look of this. If it gets to 21, 26 target. NCLH in the cruise line group coming through a major base pattern. Now looking for high 20s. NNE in that power generating group starting to get a little sloppy in here. After running really sharply into the high 20s, it's pulled back into the high teens. It better hold here. This is a wedge. Wait for the breakout. If it does, 29, 35 are potential. Netgear, beautiful base, breakaway gap, falling wedge, pop, overall coil, and another breakout. Target 27. NTRA, maybe forming a head and shoulders. This is a good swing for us from here when it was in the 80s. And it went up 100 to 133, 50 points, and pulled back. Keep your stops under 117. NXL, very, very strong relative strength of late. This wedge last week broke on Friday. I believe the stock's headed to 4 and 5. OKLO, one of those other power generators, extremely extended, having gone from 5.5 to 29. sorry, 28. The pullback, better hold 18, 21 last. OPFI, beautiful rising channel. I wanted to show it to you, but it's at resistance. If it extends, 6.5. OPRA coming out of a big base, spiked last week and formed a wedge. If it goes, 21, 23, 25 targets. Pan American Silver, the largest silver purveyor, with silver down and AGQ backing off, so is this. It's on the trend line. Next support, 21.75. PACS, look at this recent IPO in April of this year, went from 22 and doubled to nearly 44. And then you can see that if it continues, 48 and 52 are targets. PAHC, beautiful rising channel. Currently in a flag, targeting 30. PAYO, broke out of a long base, ran, flagged, extended. It looks great up here, but it's extended. PCT, base, first of all, double bottom, V bottom, popped, platform breakout, retest and snapback. A beautiful coil. And jumped from 9.5 just in the last few weeks to 15.5, now flagging. Does look like a 1, 2, 3. If this is 4, then I would look for a fifth wave to take this one to 19. Let's see if we get the setup. PHAT, strong rising channel over the last year. It's taken it from 6 to 20. Pull back, retested, it's snapping back. Targeting a retest of the high at around 20 and then 23. PLCE exploded, came back to 50 and popped. Keep an eye on this one next week. Any move above 1570 could run into 1922 zone. PLL, that created a swing, broke out. We put a swing on it, ran to the target, pulled back, and now it's revitalizing itself. I'm looking for a retest of 15.5, then 17 and 20. Palantir, phenomenal chart the last couple of years, has taken it from mid-single digits to the mid-40s. The pullback of late has held support, but under 40 will be a stop. Next target, 47. Philip Morris popped 2 weeks ago and it's flagging. Can't tell you where it goes, but the target's 145. Poet, another one of those symmetrical stocks like Laird, pop, falling wedge, pop, coil, pop, and another falling wedge. Targeting 5 3/4, 7.5. PRCT, beautiful long-term chart. Broke out here, retested there, stair-stepping its way higher. Had a big spike breakaway move on, I think, earnings last week, and then is wedging it here. Ultimate target, 125. PSN, beautiful long-term chart. Beautiful short-term chart, overextended. Support, stop under 104. Target, 118. QFN, breaks out of a base. Coils, pops, and looks like it has another leg up. Could see 40-42. Rail, breakaway gap, went out of the base here and just kept running. Beautiful chart and call by Kathy, who gave us a heads up on this one weeks ago. Looking like it could be 18-19. RCAT. Red Cat's popped out of its base here. Pulled back to retest from the wedge and broke out. This looks like a stock that wants to go higher. Once we get through 4, 5 3/4, 6 is your target. RDW, out of a wedge, got to the target, backed off the retest. If it holds, $10 target. Rocket Lab, how about this one? Beautiful breakaway, falling wedge. What a buy it was right there. Broke out around 6, doubled to 12. Target is 15. RMTI, pop flag, pop falling flag, and moving again, holding the VWAP and holding the 50-day as well, right there. If it extends, 4 3/4 and 6 are targets. RNA has been great for us all year. This is one of those stocks that just went from literally from mid-single digits into the $50 range. The pullback is a little dangerous, and be careful with this one. I would stop under 39.5, 40 zone. RVMD and face of a lousy market. What a week. It spiked near its all-time high. Channel top target is 69. SFM, I've been showing you this for a year and a half. What a beautiful chart. A rising channel that accelerated. The accelerated angle took it from 40 to 130 some odd. And where's this top? I don't know, but it doesn't look like it's done. SGMT broke out. We put a swing on it, and then backed off, popped again to the target, and pulled back, and now it's platforming. If it gets through here, I got an $8.50 target. SLI in the lithium group, breakout, rising flag, rising pattern, I mean. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't know how far this fifth wave takes you, but 3.25 and 3 3/4 are targets. SMR, another one of those power generators. Beautiful rising channel. Extension target, 35. SOFI broke out of its base too. Pulled back hard, but bounced. You can see where resistance is. Targeting 12.5 and 14. SPRY is the tech trader swing from a few weeks ago. Really good action. It's moved from under 10 to 17. It's pulled back. Angle says possibly 22. SRTS, beautiful recovery from a nasty decline in 23. It subsequently has moved from under $2 to 7. It's in a wedge consolidation pattern. It gets out of here, 8 and 10 are targets. Silvercorp Metal, a junior silver stock. Beautiful base, breakout, and holding up very well considering the rest of the group is weaker. I'm now looking for 6 and 6 3/4. AT&T, I just had to show you this. How about that? Long downtrend, multiple year downtrend, breakout, and running. 24 and 26 are targets. TALK reestablished its trend. I put a swing on it. It's moved up beautifully. I think the stock makes it to 4 and 5. Tarsus Pharmaceuticals, multi-year highs, big couple weeks. This has gone from 31 to 49 in the last month and doesn't look done, but it's extended. TGTX breakout Friday is key. I got a target of 29.5 and 33. TILE with a big move on Friday, jumping 33% on a breakout day. I'm now looking for an extension to 26 and 28. TKNO exploded, rising flag pop, long coil, breakout, and another flag. Sure looks like this wants to go higher, but $9 target. TOST broke out on Friday. Really nice long-term base. Could lead to stock near 40. Trupanion, breakout, flag, and pop. Looks great for a move to high 60s. TTEK, beautiful rising channel. Extension target, high 50s. TTI, long downtrend. Apparently broken last week and then backed off. I put a swing on it, but I need it back above 370. Targets 4 3/4. Tvgn, huge breakaway gap, strong run wedge, and another one more of a flag. If this gets above 3 1/4, 320, we should see 5. TVTX, nasty day Friday, but if it holds support, extension is in the low 20s. Twilio, massive breakaway gap Wednesday. Follow through day Friday, very strong action coming out of a massive base, could lead to lots more. I got a target in the high 90s. Unity Software with an inverse head and shoulder breakout. We put a swing on it that day. It moved from 18 to 23. Met first swing target. Now it's pulled back. My next target, 25 and 28. Unify, this food company broke out of an inverse head and shoulders breakaway gap, and it's wedging in here. I like the look of this chart a lot. Interesting food stock. And if this is in fact the rising angle of ascent right there, next target is 27 and 30. Upwork broke out of its downtrend. It's been in place for over a year. Breakaway gap and a beautiful rising angle should or could get to 15. VERX, beautiful long-term chart. Where's the top of this thing? Wow. Powerful look. I'm looking for high 40s. VOXX, breakaway gap, flag, pop flag. Doesn't look done yet. I hear maybe a takeover at 9 or 10. VRNA popped out and flagged and just kept stepping its weight. Another flag's existed there. 44 target. VST, another power generator, had a tough day on Friday. Make sure you're stopping this one under 113, 13.5. It closed right there. So it's vulnerable to a much deeper sell-off. I love the long-term chart. Let's see if it holds or not. VSTE went bonkers this week from 1 to 8 in 3 days. Just FYI, it's at resistance. Powerful momentum. Wave broke out of a base, formed a wedge, popped again, formed another wedge, popped out, formed a larger wedge, and doesn't look done yet. If it extends, 13 and 17 are targets. WGS, the tech trader swing, popped out here, put a swing on it. It's gone from 13.5 to 89. 13.5 to 89, not bad, huh? It's at resistance and overbought, and I'm not surprised it's backed off here, but it doesn't look done yet. Walmart's been incredible this year. Just since last December, it's gone from 49 to mid 80s. It looks like it could be $90. Wolf, WULF, has done a 1, 2 coil, 3, 4 coil, and 5's underway, which I think leads to 11. WVE breaks out of a long base, forms a wedge, pops, and forms another one. So I think it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm looking for 19.5 wave 5 target. XPL Logistics broke out of a base on earnings and stalled in here, but I like the look of that for a move to 150. Clear Secure, or YOU, broke out. What a wonderful chart this is. 16 to 37 since June. You can see that if it does extend, possibility this goes all the way back into the $50 range. Great chart. And finally, Zeta on the long side, give you a swing when it broke out. Its stock has moved, done nothing but go up. Actually, it was here in April, I believe. I'll have to check it. But it's gone from 11 and tripled to 34, and now the pullback. I need you to stop this one under 25.5, but should it get back over 29.5, I would look for it to extend into the mid 30s and then high 30s. That's the longs. We do have some new shorts. I've done some work this weekend for you. Let's take a look. Alcon in a major uptrend for 3 years, but looks like some sort of head and shoulders or topping pattern broke here. It's come down pretty hard. My target is this gap and need multiple lows at 88. Below that, 85 and 80. AMAT, this is a bad sign for the semiconductor group when you're starting to see these massive head and shoulder tops. If AMAT, which isn't NASDAQ 100 component, drops to 171, it could start to drop rapidly into the mid 150s or even down the mid 130s. Boot got slam dunk last week. Big breakaway gap to the downside, no rally. Looking for a downside extension to 111 and eventually 98 to 100. CAMT, another in the semiconductor group, broke down, bear flag, right to resistance, broke down another bear wedge, and then really got hammered on Friday. I could see this going to 60 or even 52.3. Crocs broke as hard last week as well. Watch for a snapback entry opportunity. I don't believe it gets past 120. The target eventually 93 and 83. DHI in the home building group. Look at that head and shoulders. Massive breakdown snapback. Is a snapback a short opportunity? I believe it might be. Watch for this to roll over again and retest 153.5. HCA, big breakaway move with a falling wedge, not good. I think we test 343 and maybe 315. LNW, beautiful rising channel for a couple years. Massive breakdown, now a bear wedge. That does not look good. I'm going to probably put a tech trader swing short on it. My target 86.7 and then 78.9. Logitech Could be a massive top. We'll see, but it looks like it broke the channel, and now it's forming a bear wedge. Downside target 76. MSA safety looks like a head and shoulder top broke, and it's below the neckline. Some support right about where it is. If it breaks, 154, 147. NDX broke down and snapped back right to the gap, and then fell. If it breaks from here, 105 and 95 are targets. NVO, head and shoulder top for this drug stock, biotechnology, a little bear flag, and then a breakdown to support. Should it break there, 97 and 89 are targets. PayPal, not sure if this is broken yet, but it came down, bounced, and came down again and closed on support. If PayPal breaks here, it's going to get ugly, folks. I can see low 70s and high 60s. Qualcomm, as you know, has been on my short list for a while. There's a head and shoulder there. A breakdown of a large multi-month bear flag. If this breaks, it looks like it's about to. 152, 141, and below. STNG, Scorpio tankers, a lot of these shippers look like this. This is a nasty break. Look for a snapback to short it with a target of 53. With oil stocks getting weaker, this Tidewater broke, bear flag, keeps doing what it needs to do to be bearish. I think it tests 52 and below. TNK, another TK tanker, the shipper, and head and shoulder breakdown. Wonderful if you get a snap back to 52 to short it with a target eventually at 35.38. UHS, nasty breakdown and a bear flag. Don't know where they take this, folks, but the first support is 193, and then I'm looking at 176. Urban Outfitters broke a long-term uptrend from the bear flag. Now a larger one. We break this pattern. We'll probably test 30, 31. VRRM completed a head and shoulder top, I believe, of the breakdown Friday. Targets at 21 and 18. Weatherford has been on my tech traders short list. It broke down with a bear wedge and then kept dropping. From 110, it's gotten down to 78, 77. Doesn't look done yet, does it? And a new one is XYL, breaking key support with a breakdown Thursday and Friday. Love to see a snapback. It's right on support near there. Next targets, 105.95. And finally, Yelp, also been on my swing trade short list for a while. Broke down bear flag, another one, and another one with a target of 30 and 27. Whew. Well, that is an exhaustive look at all the indices, underlying technicals, NASDAQ 100 generals, major ETFs we follow closely, a long list of longs and a shorter list of shorts, but some new ones to take a close look at in case this market does fall apart. This is HB wishing you a great rest of your weekend, everybody. Take care. Talk to you Monday.